Welcome, everybody, to our Animal Reiki Talk for October 2025. And tonight we're going to talk about the power of community. And, every month this year and ongoing, I sort of choose a theme that relates to our Animal Reiki practice. And then I write a blog about the theme. And then I sort of talk about the blog and our theme, and then invite you to share. And also, we close with a beautiful animal healing circle. And so we're going to do that tonight. And um, every month, I have a dedication and an affirmation for you to keep in your heart for the month. So in October, for your Animal Reiki meditations, I ask you to dedicate them for healing of the human-animal bond on our planet. And our affirmation you can add to your practice is: our collective compassion creates waves of positive change for animals and their caregivers. So tonight, our theme is the power of community and why it's so important to thriving in our Animal Reiki practice. Community is the invisible thread that holds us together. And it reminds us that healing is not a solo path. It's something we nurture with each other, for each other, and through our shared love of animals. And when we connect in this space of community, our individual lights come together into something greater, a collective field of compassion that reaches far beyond ourselves. In other words, we're stepping into the Reiki space together and holding that space together. So in my October blog, I wrote that community is the heart of the Let Animals Lead method, and that through connection, we grow, through reflection, we learn, and through shared energy, we remember who we truly are. And in that way, we are showing up as our best selves for the animals. And my students have expressed this truth beautifully in their own words. And here are a few of their voices. Even in the online classes, I could feel the presence and connection, like Reiki was flowing through the group itself. I love this quote from one of my students because it shows that community doesn't depend on physical proximity. It's about the energetic presence of Reiki. So Reiki itself is our community. It's oneness in action. And I know a lot of you live in communities where you might be the only Animal Reiki person, or people don't necessarily understand what you're doing. Maybe you don't even really share much with your friends and family about what you do. But in our Let Animals Lead community, we all get it. We're all here together doing the same thing. So I encourage you to really reach out to this community for support and a sense of belonging. Here's another quote. I've had such wonderful connections with my fellow practitioners as we learned, grew, expanded, shared, and practiced together. I love this quote from one of my students, because it is a reminder that it's through our sharing of how we're growing and what we're thinking about, what we're reflecting on, our insights that we come up with. We create a mirror for one another. And so our community is helping us stay consistent in our practice. It's helping us stay inspired to keep on, dedicating ourselves to it. And it's supporting us in that work that can otherwise, often feel very alone. And so just remember that, even when you finish your class, stay connected to the Let Animals Lead community. I am here once a month, and you can find me on social media. But for those of you who are alumni of my classes, make sure you check in with the Mighty Networks. You can go to my website at animalreikisource.com and click on Join Our Community. All of my alumni are welcome to join free. It's a lifetime membership, being an alumni of a Let Animals Lead class. You could have learned with me or any of my teachers, but you join, and I am in there every day. I do lives in there once a week. my experienced teachers and practitioners are in there doing classes, lives, mentorships. We have so much going on so that you don't have to be alone in this practice and be a part of the conversation. The next quote from one of my students is, Kathleen creates a sacred, heart-centered space for the animals, for her students, and for the world. This quote really touched me deeply when I first read it because to me, it really captures what it means to hold space in community when we embody these qualities that we're talking about in Reiki, and then we invite others to do the same. And so, I am not alone doing this. I am supported by all of you to create this space together. Community is co-created. So I know that sometimes it feels to my students that I'm the one creating it, but really you all are creating it. And I think when you're a beginning student, it might not feel that way. You're like, I don't know how to create space. What are we doing? But over time, you'll see that you really are co-creating this space with the animals, with each other, and in the world. We're changing the vibration of the world. Another student shared, I found my home in this community. Oh, this is so beautiful. And it really is true that when we find our people, when we find our community, we find a spiritual home, a place where we're seen, a place where we're understood, a place where we feel connected not just to each other, but to all beings. So we're all on that same page. And we're really coming back through our Reiki practice with animals. We're coming back to the best version of our true self. We're learning how to be the best human being that we can be. And we're doing that together. So I'm very grateful that so many of my students feel home in this community. Here's another quote from one of my students. Having taken all 3 levels, I see how beautifully each builds on the next. Kathleen walks the talk and models every lesson through her presence. When I think about, I'm very flattered by that. I do my best. My practice is not always easy and is often a struggle. But I really take it to heart to try to show up for my students as much as I can. No matter what's going on in my personal life, I try to really be fully present in each class and with an open heart. And I'm so happy that that can come through. And that's what we all want to do, really, for the animals and for each other. When I think about my Let Animals Lead community, for me, it's a living lineage. And we are like a tapestry, and each one of us is adding a thread of wisdom. And we are so much more together than we are alone. And I am inspired to create new talks and new classes and new blogs and to write and to keep on learning and growing. I'm inspired to do that because of you, because of my community, and knowing that you're here, you're showing up because you want to help the animals. And I want to support you to do that. And so we're all part of this. This lineage is alive and it belongs to every single one of us. And I'm so happy that you're here. Here's another quote from one of my students. I've had so much expansion within my spirituality, which allowed for deeper self-healing. I've had such wonderful connections with my fellow practitioners as we learn and practice together. I love this because it reminds us that when we gather together in community, it multiplies our compassion. We're not just healing alone, we're healing together, but we're bringing the energy to a new level through our shared practice. And that will allow you to not only find your connection with animals going deeper more easily, but also your own spiritual path. You're pulled along with all of us together, we pull each other along much more easily than if we were on our own. And here's one final quote that I'd like to share. The Let Animals Lead method not only empowers practitioners to honor the light and wisdom of animals, it also guides us to do the same for ourselves. This is the essence of community, mutual empowerment. We are empowering the animals through agency, through respect, through all of the ethics that we do. We are reflecting those concepts upon ourselves. We're mirroring them back to ourselves, or the animals are mirroring them to us. We are empowering ourselves and lifting ourselves up in that space. And we are showing up for each other, lifting each other up. And so we honor the light in the animals. We remember I am also the light, and then we shine that light together. We hold hands together in community. And it really is a practice of empowerment. And it is a community that is very special to my heart and that I hope lasts long beyond me. I really want to see this community as a living embodiment of our desire to support, uplift, honor, respect animals in the world. And the more that we keep speaking this message out in the world, the more hopefully people will hear us and maybe shift their own perceptions, and we can uplift the space that animals inhabit in our world. So I want to take a moment now to um, reflect a little bit and practice a meditation together. So let's start. Let's actually start with the meditation. Then we'll do a little bit of reflection, and then that will be our meeting for tonight. So let's go into Gasho, palms together, and let's take a moment to set our intention. Let's dedicate all the energy of this practice to our animals. We invite them to share the space with us. And we also invite in our group dedication for healing of the human-animal bond on this planet. And we also invite in with gratitude our Animal Reiki community to share this space. And let's rest our hands on our lap. We're going to do some hara breathing. So your hara is the energy center in your lower belly. You can visualize it as a beautiful healing light. And as you breathe in, imagine that light comes in through the crown, fills your body, moving all the way down to the hara. And then as you exhale, imagine that light expands like a gentle mist out your skin, into your aura, and into the universe. So breathing in the light, filling your body, connecting with the belly. Breathing out, expanding that light out into the universe. And breathing in and breathing out. Take a few more breaths at your own pace, focusing on the light, focusing on the breath. Really letting go of any of the stresses from the day or any of those extraneous thoughts coming up. We just notice them and then let them go like clouds floating by. And just return to the breath. Return to this moment. And then relax your breath and just see yourself sitting in this beautiful space of light, the light within and the light all around you. And this light is filled with peacefulness, perfect balance and harmony, loving kindness and compassion, all the qualities of Reiki that we share. And just feel that light shine out as a beautiful invitation to the world around you, to the trees, nature, animals, and people, to all beings. And then bringing our focus back to the breath. With each inhale, I want you to feel the love of our Animal Reiki community flowing towards you. And with each exhale, I want you to offer that same love back into the circle. Breathing in and breathing out. Receiving that love and offering that love. And just feeling the amplifying effect of everyone in our circle across the world. All of us united in this shared sense of purpose. I breathe in and I feel the community love flowing towards me. I exhale and I offer that same love back to our circle. And imagine that the animals that we love, near or far, in the physical or beyond, can gently step into the circle with us if they wish. And together, in stillness, we remember we are all connected and we are all one. And so just relax into that space for a moment. We invite the animals to step into this community shared space of love, of safety, of kindness, of compassion. And when you're ready, bring your hands back into Gasho, palms together. And we take a moment to thank our animals, whatever animals showed up in our practice. However they showed up tonight was just perfect. Also thanking all the members of our community as we walk this path together. And then setting our intention to finish the meditation, take a nice deep breath and slowly come back and open your eyes. All right, and so I invite you to think about when we practice our animal Reiki together in community, we're also embodying the precepts. We're letting go of anger, letting go of worry, being in a space of calm and patience. We're practicing kindness and gratitude, humility, compassion, all of that. We're doing that together. Our community helps us come back to these truths when we forget. And they remind us that our practice is the strongest when we share it with one another. And once again, I invite you all to come to the Mighty Network's online alumni community and be a part of what we are building together, what we are co-creating there together for the good of the animals. And you just might get some self-healing and build some friendships in there as well as a side benefit. So I have a few reflections, and we only have a couple of people here, and I don't want to put you guys on the spot, but if either of you want to share, um, feel free to unmute yourself. And if not, if you're just watching the video, then I'd love you to just reflect on this, and you can share in the comments below. How has your animal Reiki community supported your growth? Thinking about that. What does that look like for you? What gifts have you received through this shared journey? Maybe it's friendship, maybe it's an experience or insight that somebody else shared that really opened up something for you. And how can you bring a sense of connection to others at home, in sanctuaries, in your volunteer work, in your communities? How can you bring that feeling that has helped you to others? So, as we close our meeting tonight, I would like you to carry this feeling of togetherness of our community with you. And remember that our Let Animals Lead community is a circle of compassion that spans the world. And it is dedicated for the animals, but also touches many, many people's hearts as well. And many of us also practice with trees and nature. So everybody is included in this circle of compassion. And my hope is that we continue to learn from each other and to hold space with love and to let our shared light bring peace to every being we meet. And so I'll close with our monthly affirmation again, which is our collective compassion creates waves of positive change for animals and their caregivers. Thank you for being with me tonight and wishing you many blessings on the journey. And I hope to see you in our Mighty Networks online alumni community. Okay, blessings, everybody. Bye.